Everybody wants to be the cool white boy, and this is your turn to be the cool white boy and get some points back from when you beat up on Stephen A. Smith and people get upset with you. Now you got you some cool points. You defended Ja Morant and everybody waving a gun. Good job, JJ Redick. Sell out.
Again, we can go into the backstory of the incident with the teenager. Ja's claiming self-defense, that the teenager threw the ball in his face. We can go into the incident at the mall when he yelled at his security guard. We can go into the incident with the Indiana Pacers traveling party. As far as we know, all of these things have been investigated and no law has been broken. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying there should be no punishment. There should be consequences. You are the face of the league. You are representing the NBA. You are a role model to young kids. All of that. I don't think half a season is the right answer. And the last point I want to make is you bring this up, the guns on social media. When we talk about consequences. Look, in our country right now, gun culture is pervasive. It's pervasive. We've got mass shooting after mass shooting, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So I get why we're so sensitive to this right now. But there's no consequence for Greg Abbott telling his constituents that they should go buy more guns, and then we have mass shooting after mass shooting in Texas. There's no consequence for an elected Tennessee official to send out a Christmas card holding AR-15s with his young family, and then there's a shooting in his very district. There's no consequences to that. So why are we trying to lay down the hammer on a 23-year-old who didn't break a law? Explain that to me.
JB, I'm going to give you first crack at explaining that because you inspired this. JB, the floor is yours if you'd like to explain to JJ Redick.
You know what I'm tired of? People don't understand. You either coach it or you allow it in life. And everything he just explained was an excuse. He said, I'm not condoning it. You're lying. You are condoning it. So I don't understand it. He needs to have a punishment, but I don't believe half the season is it. I know it should be a full season. Like, this is what we keep seeing, Jason, and every single day on mainstream media. We keep seeing excuses for excuses as to why these kids continue to do what they do and why it's okay. And it just blows my mind, man, that the adult in the room can't figure it out and wonder why we have a problem, especially in this particular demographic, inner city black youth, let's just be honest, which I'm around every day. I don't believe JJ is around it at all. I don't believe any of those people at ESPN are around it at all. And this is a guy from Cookeville, Tennessee. And I think I have the right to discuss this being from Compton, California. There's a little bit different. And I'm frankly just starting to be a little pissed off about these cats that come out who think they've been around a few brothers and sisters in their life and think they can speak about black culture, black lives, how it affects kids in the hood because they played in a predominant black NBA. It blows my mind. I have the black friend quote, right? That's JJ Redick. I have the black friend. It don't matter. You're not from there. You don't know what it's like. You have no clue what these kids look at. These kids aren't looking at Greg Abbott, Jason. You and I know that. They're looking at Ja Morant on IG Live. They're looking at all these cats that are in rap videos with pistols and AKs and guns. They're not looking at the white backwood politician with an AK with their kids on a Christmas card. Let's just be honest. And I don't understand how Steven Jackson and all these cats keep coming out and talking about this is a racially motivated attack on Ja Morant. No, it's not. You should be more proactive, Steven Jackson, instead of reactive like we see all these tweets every day, Jason, about prayers, T's and P's, all the black kings and queens that have lost their lives. Why haven't I seen JJ Redick, Steven Jackson, Stephen A. Smith, and whoever else on a commercial tomorrow to create a commercial? How about let's make this commercial, Jason? Let's call it How Not to Be Like Ja. Instead of How to Be Like Mike, let's make it not How Not to Be Like Ja. Let's make that commercial. Why haven't I seen any proactive action by any of these cats who are claiming it's racially motivated. Monty Williams of Phoenix Suns have fired him because it's racially motivated now. Really? They just fired Nick Nurse and Budenholzer too after they just won championships. Is that racially motivated? I'm just tired of the race baiting thing, man. It's time to start talking up at it because I've never really went into it. It's starting to just irk me to the core now because the truth needs to be told. I don't see these cats in Compton. I'm there.
Black people on the planet. That's awesome, JJ. Don't really want to ridicule you or belittle you, but you sound like an idiot. Because what Ja Morant is doing is putting Ja Morant in harm's way. When a police officer eventually pulls Ja Morant over in a car, because of all the videos, because of the way Ja Morant has portrayed himself, that policeman is going to be very suspicious of Ja Morant. Does he have a gun? Is he drunk or high? Does he plan on playing or flashing that gun the way I've seen him do in videos? And so if it doesn't get Ja Morant harmed, maybe it'll get that policeman harmed. Maybe it'll get a passenger in the car harmed. Maybe, let's remove the police from the scenario. Let's suppose Ja Morant, being 23, goes to a club in Memphis or anywhere, and gets in a dispute, an argument, an altercation with someone who's really about that life. That person who's really about that life is going to be, oh, this is Ja Morant. He carries a gun. Well, you know what? I happen to carry a gun. Ja Morant pretends to be about that life. I'm going to pull out this gun and use it on Ja Morant because he could potentially use it against me. Ja Morant is a walking billboard advertisement of, I want some type of gun violence drama to happen with me. He is sowing the seeds for that type of violence and misbehavior that, again, like JB just said, we know is commonplace in Memphis, in black communities, in urban areas. We know it's commonplace. And so we're watching a child play with fire, watching a child put his hand on a hot stove over and over and over again. And we don't need JJ Redick for likes, clicks, retweets, social media clout, television ratings. We don't need JJ Redick on TV trying to build his profile and brand. I'm the #1 ally to all these idiots. We don't need that, JJ Redick, because there are people that are actually out here saying, hey, JJ, hey, Ja, this behavior may end up getting you, someone close to you, or someone you don't know hurt. And that's why people are calling for Ja Morant to be disciplined harshly to cut out this behavior. Greg Abbott telling people in Texas to arm themselves and use their Second Amendment rights. That doesn't. There is no clear-cut connection between that behavior and these mass shootings that you love to talk about. There's no clear-cut connection. There's actual political and real justification for Greg Abbott telling his citizens, arm yourself, use guns legally, protect yourself from this tyrannical government. The founders wanted the government to fear you. There is, what was the other reference he made? It wasn't Greg Abbott. There was a second reference he made that he was...
People using guns in their Christmas cards?
Yeah, the politicians using guns in their Christmas card. If you can show me a clear connection between those Christmas cards and violence in the hood, in the suburbs, anywhere, not something you pull out of your rear end and speculate about. Because this stuff that we see in the actual inner city, where JB is talking about in Compton, in Memphis, across the street from me, right here in Nashville, I can walk from my very expensive apartment building. I can walk without losing my breath, without any effort, to a place right across the street from me, where there's been at least three murders in the short time that I've lived here, and several shootings at this one particular nightclub. And there's one particular demographic involved in every one of those shootings. And those guys take their cues from people like Ja Morant. Whoever sent out the Christmas card, they don't know nothing about it. Their behavior is not connected to whoever sent out those Christmas cards. And so I get it. Everybody wants to be the most down white guy in the world and wants to be the most down white guy connected to NBA players. And I'm sure all the NBA players are celebrating you. Yeah, JJ Redick, he's a real one. He kept it real for Ja. No, man, if you really want to keep it, if you want some clout, I would love to go back and see, and maybe I don't know. I mean, we'll do the homework and find out. What did JJ Redick have to say about Kyrie Irving when he was getting beat up over a movie poster? You want to keep it real and show how down you are for the black man? Stand up for Kyrie Irving when he was catching heat over nothing, a movie poster about black people or Jewish people's history. This smells like a gimmick to me. Everybody wants to be the cool white boy, and this is your turn to be the cool white boy and get some points back from when you beat up on Stephen A. Smith and people get upset with you. Now you got you some cool points. You defended Ja Morant and everybody waving a gun. Good job, JJ Redick. Sellout.
I do not want to be the cool white boy.
Oh,
I can go on record saying that.
With you. Now you got you some cool points. You defended Ja Morant and everybody waving a gun. Good job, JJ Redick. Sellout. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.